So there's been a bit of talk, and I know that some people, when soy milk was probably the primary alternative to dairy milk, moved from dairy milk to soy. And then there's been a migration away from soy to other types of milks, such as your rice milks, your coconut milks, and your almond milks. And the reason for that shift was that the publicity came out around the phytoestrogen content of your soy milks. And so they're plant-based chemicals that can increase the estrogen content when absorbed by the body. And so I guess in that situation, there's some concerns and people have migrated across to other types of milks. And they've done some research, and that research has then been compiled into what they call a meta-analysis. So that's where someone comes in and looks at all the evidence. And the highest level of evidence in research is when someone comes in and does a meta-analysis. And what they've shown is that the phytoestrogen content of soy milk is not a harmful content of the milk. So it's a fantastic alternative and can be used alongside other fortified dairy milk alternatives such as the rice and calcium milks, but it's important to target those that are fortified products. So with dairy milk, some people will revert to other milk alternatives because their stomach is unsettled. Others might revert across to other milk alternatives because they've heard that they're a better choice, or they might even align themselves with a particular style of eating. So if you're a vegan, you might not be comfortable using a dairy milk, for instance, so you migrate across to using a milk alternative that's plant-based. If you've got an unsettled stomach, dairy milk could be a potential source of that, but it's not the only source. And I guess one of the things that we've really focused on with our elite athletes is the understanding and making sure our athletes consume enough energy over the course of the day. And because the triathlete's training program can vary quite considerably from one day to the next, it's really, really important to make sure that on a heavy training day, you eat sufficiently on that day. Now, the connection back to your gut is that what we've shown is that, or broadly speaking, is that when you're not meeting your daily energy requirements and you're consuming inadequate amounts of energy from day to day, you can suffer from a broad syndrome which is called REDS, which is relative energy deficiency in sport. And with REDS, one of the symptoms of that, along with a range of others, is gastrointestinal complaint. So you might be targeting milk or managing between one milk to the next to see what best fits with your stomach, but ultimately you need to be making sure that you meet your daily energy requirements, keeping in mind that on some days those energy requirements will be high and other days they will be much lower. So rather than pitching around milk as a starting point if your stomach is unsettled, it might be worth considering just your total energy budget and your total energy intake for the day and trying to make a better match in terms of your daily calorie intake.